Okay, let's talk scheduling. Does your team's schedule sometimes feel like, I don't know, guesswork? Or maybe more like a constant fire drill?
Yeah, putting out fires instead of actually planning. It's a common feeling.
Right. So today we're going to dig into workforce management, WFM. We're using insights from a really thorough guide on it.
Hmm.
And our mission here is to kind of unpack WFM, not just as this, task we have to do, but as a real strategic tool.
Exactly. Something that helps balance what customers need, what keeps your employees happy, and, the financial side too.
So what is WFM fundamentally? Let's start there.
Well, at its simplest, the guide puts it as having the right number of people, working the right hours, doing the right tasks at the right time.
Sounds simple enough when you say it like that.
Right. But it's actually a whole system. It covers forecasting, planning your capacity, the actual scheduling, making changes in real time, and then reporting on it all. It's basically the operating system for your CX team.
Okay, so if we want to move away from guessing, where's the starting point? The guide seems big on forecasting.
Definitely. Forecasting is like your crystal ball. It's about predicting that future demand, with some confidence.
How do you do that?
You look at historical data, seasonal patterns like holidays or busy seasons, and any big events coming up, maybe a product launch. It stops those, oh no, are we staffed for this?
Moments. Right. Avoiding the surprises. And that flows into the next piece.
Yeah, forecasting links directly to capacity planning. This is where you take those workload predictions and figure out, okay, how many people do we actually need?
And getting that wrong must be expensive.
Oh, absolutely. Overstaffing means you're paying people who aren't busy. The guide mentions that just bleeds money.
Hmm.
But understaffing, that leads to burnout, customers waiting longer, missing your SLAs.
SLAs, the service level agreements, right? The time targets.
Exactly, like how quickly you answer a call or email. The guide actually points to Harry's, the grooming company. They saved over $130,000 a year just by fixing overstaffing and tackling shrinkage.
Shrinkage, what's that in this context?
It's that time agents are paid for, but aren't actively working on customer tasks, breaks, meetings, training, even just idle time between contacts. Harry's got smart about using that shrinkage time better.
Interesting. Okay, so you've forecasted, you've planned capacity. Now comes the part the team sees every day, scheduling and real-time management.
Yes, and this is where it gets really personal for the team. The guide framed scheduling as a people strategy, not just moving blocks around on a calendar.
A people strategy.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, think about it. Good schedules, they're predictable, they're fair. Ideally, they offer some flexibility that builds trust, reduces stress, and honestly, it helps keep people around longer, better retention.
And the real-time part.
That's like being air traffic control for your contact center.
Yeah.
You're watching the queues, monitoring staffing levels live, and making quick adjustments if things go sideways.
You're preventing small problems from becoming big ones.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it shows your team you've got their back when things get busy unexpectedly. That's huge for morale.
That makes sense. But all this monitoring, the data, doesn't it risk feeling a bit like Big Brother? Like surveillance?
That's a really important point, and the guide tackles it head on with the idea of making WFM human. It's not about surveillance if you do it right.
Okay, how do you make it human then?
It comes down to intentional design and, crucially, transparent communication. Talk to your team. Explain the why behind scheduling decisions or changes. Use the data to support and coach, not to punish.
So it's about building trust, not eroding it.
Exactly. The guide actually says trust is a performance multiplier. When people trust the system and feel supported, they perform better. Predictable schedules, fair work distribution, it all builds that trust.
So we've made it human for the team. How does all this connect back to the bigger business goals? What's the strategic impact?
Well, that's where strategic WFM comes in. It ties everything we've talked about directly to the business's key performance indicators, KPIs.
Things like customer satisfaction, CSAT.
Yep. CSAT, Net Promoter Score, or NPS, how likely customers are to recommend you, and even agent retention rates. When you can show how your WFM decisions improve those numbers, you're proving value way beyond just saving costs.
Got an example?
Sure. The guide mentions Glossier, the beauty brand. They used their WFM strategy to get a 32% improvement in their SLA performance during big product launches.
Wow, 32% is significant during peak times.
Right. And they also boosted their forecast accuracy by 27%.
Hmm.
So WSM wasn't just operational. It positioned their whole customer experience team as a strategic driver of growth, not just a cost center.
So wrapping this up then, WFM isn't just scheduling. It's really this powerful engine, right? Balancing costs, keeping customers happy, and looking after your team's well-being.
That sums it up perfectly. It's an integrated approach.
Okay, so a final thought for everyone listening. What's one part of your team's schedule or staffing right now that feels like, well, a bit of a guess, just one piece? And then think, what might change if you tackled just that one piece with some intentional design, maybe a clear 30-day plan using some of these WFM principles we've talked about?